Okay, so this is part 3 of my video of memories from my childhood working at FW Woolworth. And so I'm writing the comments that I wrote on this guy's video of Bakersfield, California, the Woolworth Historic Diner, which theirs is a little bit different layout. Our kitchen was actually in the back behind the there was a window, kind of like Alice and Mel when they had their diner with Flo and the other woman. But let me read this so I don't run out of time. I put, what's missing is the pie case. They always had pies inside of a display case on the counter. There was a cherry pie, apple pie. Sometimes we would have to wear an advertisement on our dress that said something about cherry pies. The Woolworth cheesecake had to be kept in a refrigerator before serving it or it would melt. The cheesecake was always sold out. We would have 2 industrial-sized pans about 18 inches long, 12 inches wide for the cheesecakes that we would make each day. Weekends was more around 3 pans. The Woolworth cheesecake was a big seller. The older ladies taught me and Mike, Guy B, how to make cheesecake. Mike and I were the only ones who stuck around to learn how things worked long enough. I was there about 3 years, 3 to 4. Mike was there when I left, so he was there 3 to 4 years too. The others who were hired on eventually quit. I don't think they liked working, and typically it was pushed by our parents to work as teenagers. The old room reminds me of the office near where we had to punch our cards on the wall in the hallway. Mike was always getting in trouble for not punching out at night. He just forgot. Mike and I were both young. I really liked Mike because him and his brother Tom were always getting in trouble at school for being slow. Their mom was a high school teacher. Our teachers were mean to them and would criticize them and yell at them in front of class for not understanding how to do work. Now, Mike and Tom, I went to grade school with them, and they were both always respectful to me. We were required to punch out if we were working over 6 hours for 30 minutes lunch. They would not pay us. They gave us 30 minutes for lunch, and we had to punch out, which this meant we were actually working an additional 30 minutes split shift where they would not pay us for lunch. Typically, we were never scheduled over 6 hours. They wanted us to be part-time. Sometimes we might do 4.5 hours to 6 hours. Sometimes we might do 6.5 hours. I actually got scolded one summer by the boss when I was working extra hours, and he told me he might have to hire me on full-time. If I kept working full-time hours, then I noticed a distinct cut in my hours back to 30 hours in the summer. During school, I would get around 16 to 20 hours per week, making $2.95 an hour. Then the store told us they gave us a raise. I thought it was great.